Looks like it's working. Yeah. Yeah, it's working. Okay, we are back again with more. Okay, back with more Creation Kit. So we got our structural thing done. I did figure out what was wrong with this, by the way. So it's fixed. It works as intended in the game, which is really good. The issue, if I go into Niv Scope, I'll show you all real quick. So there's some keywords at the end of different materials, like for the main body. Say materials, ship common, primary. And then if I click on the plating 01, ship common, secondary. And then lastly, the secondary plating, ship common, tertiary. These were all under the primary section. So if I go here, here we go. You'll see primary, secondary, tertiary. I had all of them under primary like a dummy. I cannot believe I did that. But yeah, that's what I did to fix this. And then I did change out all the textures or the materials on all the different detail bits, all these little things right here, all of that stuff. That was all changed as well because I couldn't get that to work with the texture I had, so I found something else and it works. It's fine. So yeah, it has been changed, and so now it should be working a lot better. Again, I tested it in game and it seems to be working, so we are good there. So all I did, I just replaced it in the files, the NIF. I just messed with it in NIF scope, saved it, and then replaced it in the game files. So that's all I did to fix it, and it's fixed. So the shell is more or less done. I'll probably mess with it with the ship snap pieces a little bit more later. But now, let's open up our notes again. Okay. So what we're going to do is we are going to duplicate the ship snap. I believe that's what this is, right? Let me make sure. Is this what I want? Yeah. Okay. So we're going to duplicate this. Click duplicate. And we're going to rename it to ship snap smod structure outrider modules, because this, and we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna remove this, remove, there we go. we want the top? No, we don't actually. We want... snap node underscore ship underscore bottom. Okay. And we're just going to leave that. There we go. Okay, so we can remove that. There. Okay. So now we have the ship snaps for the modules that be like the grav drive, the reactor, the shields, all that fun stuff, because that's what we're about to start working on. So what we're going to do, I use the same stuff every single time and it works. It's fine. I've never had any issues with it. What we're going to do is we're going to look up reactor underscore deep. Ooh. That's annoying. Hang on. I gotta... What if I look up Fuser DC 01? Fuser dash... There we go. I think that's everything, right? Let me make sure. Hang on. Because we're after the 401. We're after this reactor right here. Deep Core Fuser DC 401. So we've got that. Got DC 401 there. DC 401 there. I think it should be all that we need. Right? I think so. Okay, so we want to duplicate that. Duplicate and rename. I'm going to rename this real quick. Okay. Yes, I want to rename that. Okay. Deep Core Fuser 401. Duplicate that. And duplicate that. Okay. Now what we can do is we can find all the ones that say copy and we can rename them. So Koa SMC reactor Outrider. And again we want to delete everything that's down here. Same thing. And then we hit OK. No, we don't want to make a new form. We do want to rename that. Reactor Outrider. Okay. Yes, I'm sure I want to rename that. Outrider, there we go. I don't remember if I brought this up or not, but this right here, this name under the base forms, the SMC, this is what it's going to show up as in-game. So yeah, whatever you name this, that's how it's going to be named. I believe that's how it's going to be named in-game. So we want YT2442. There we go. Reactor. Save. No, I do not want to make a new form. Reactor Outrider. Create new form. No and yes. There we go. Should be everything we need, I think. Because we got that, that, and that. I believe so. So let's type in Outrider, and now we have two different objects. You gotta be kind of careful now because you don't want to cross-reference them. I'm curious. I renamed that, so why? Oh, here we go. IT 2442 shell. There we go. That's the part I missed last time. Yeah, there's a few places you can put names. I always forget which one it is. It's this. Okay, so we're messing with the reactor. So we need this to be the SMC reactor outrider. Come on. There we go. Click OK. SMod reactor outrider. There we go. Save. Okay. Now I think we're good to start messing with stuff. I think. So what we're gonna do, see this model, this is way too big for our ship. We don't want this. Also, this is a C-class reactor. You can change the class of your stuff, but I would recommend finding something like my stuff is always C-class, just because it's easier to mess with. So I'd recommend finding something that you like. If you want a B-class ship, find the B-class reactor or the B-class shield or whatever that you want to replace, and then do that. Again, my stuff, all my stuff is always C-class. But what we're going to do now is we're going to edit this model. We're going to hit edit, and then so we're in our meshes, and we're going to go and we're going to replace it with another vanilla asset. We're going to go to ships. I believe it's in modules. It should be in structure. It should be in the SMod, I think. I think it's this, the Tile Equip Node top. Yeah. Yeah, this is the little equipment plate. That's what that is. So this will still register as a reactor, but we're replacing the model just like we did with our structural piece. We're doing the same thing, and I need my stuff to be really, really small, just so that, you know, it fits where it's supposed to. So that's what we're doing. And the snap template, we want SMod structure. I just saw it. There it is. We want the outrider modules that we made. And we're going to hit OK. And we're going to look at it now and see what all we have here. I'm very confused. Oh wait, no I'm not. I'm dumb. That's okay. That's fine. Let's do 90. Right? Yep. And then we want to go down with it. There we go. Ta-da! There we go. Now that'll snap to the top of different things inside of your ship. So like it'll snap to the top of habs and other things. So we're gonna hit OK on that because that's what we want. I'm gonna save real quick. Now we need to edit this. And by the way, if you hit, is it in? No, M, V. What gives? There should be a way to view the, oh, there it is. Okay, it's M. I just couldn't see him. Okay, so if you hit M, these little markers will show up. These thingies. I'm just letting y'all know because that'll come into play later. But all we gotta do, we want to just literally get rid of everything. Delete. Yes. Yes to all. And now we want to get our reactor in here. And then we're going to edit. And we're going to do 0, 0, 0. Okay. Reactor should be done. I think. Let me make sure. Yep, that's linked. That's what we're in right now. That's this. Reactor, yep. Yeah, that's been renamed. And of course this has been replaced. The ship snap is, yep, it's the Outrider module, so we're good. Okay. Yeah, so the reactor should be good now. It should work in game. I typically do all this all at once. So we're going to look up grav underscore Slayton. No, we're not. Hang on. SGD dash. I'm looking for the 3100 and it's being a pain. There it is. Okay. Cool. Alright, so we want to duplicate that. Duplicate that. Duplicate that. And then duplicate and rename. Okay. This is going to be annoying to try to find. Oh, because this one, it didn't pop up. So let me try. Hang on. 3100. It might actually be 3101. There it is. Let me rename this real quick. Copy. Yeah, see, 0 and 0. This is how I know this is, it's not in use by anything. So yes, I do want to rename that. Okay, there we go. Now we've got all of our stuff right here that we can mess with. Okay, so the grav drive we're going to rename to Outrider. Again, delete, delete, and then hit OK. Create no form, no, and yes. Grav Outrider. Yes, I want to rename that. Grav Drive Outrider YT 2442. And last but not least, Grav Outrider. Okay. Create new form, no, and yes. Okay, so just to make sure we've got that one, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. So we can look up the Outrider again, and now we've got even more stuff. Now I have the grav drive, along with everything else. So we're going to get this, and come on. There we go. SMC grav drive Outrider. Okay. Not going to mess with that just yet. Really? There we go. Okay, save. Okay, we're gonna edit this. Edit, and then notice it opens right back to where we were, so we can just find our structural piece again. The Taio equip node. Click OK. There it is. Go to our ship snap, and we want the structure. And we want the modules. Okay. Edit this. Now this is kind of important. We can't just delete everything in here. Do not do that. You see this right here, this armillary? We want to leave that alone. Everything else we can delete, but we want to leave this alone. This is needed for the Unity. To go through the Unity and finish the main game, yeah, you need this. So don't get rid of it. And we're going to put this at 0 and 0. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to get our grav drive. We're going to edit, and we're going to do 0, 0, 0. Like that. Okay. Now, what we're going to do with this, is we're going to edit, and then we're going to make this thing 0.1. Really, really, really small. And then we're going to move it, and you can move stuff by hitting E on your keyboard. E is in Einstein. And then we're going to move it to like right there. Keep in mind if this thing right here, if this armillary clips on anything, it will not let you place this. Even if you do have the overlap tolerance tweak mod, which you're going to need for my mods, obviously. They need them. It always needs them. This thing's weird. It'll mess up this for some reason. So just keep that in mind as you go along. You know, so if something doesn't work, go back to Creation Kit. If you can't place the grav drive, it's probably this thing. And then move it up, move it down, do whatever you got to do to try to get it to work. But I think that might be it for the grav drive. Yeah, because we got that. This just got done. Grav drive outrider, yeah, that's good. Okay. One thing I do want to show y'all, it's not super important, but this thing. This is the SMC, or in the case of our structural piece, it's the SMS. It's, yeah. This holds the values of your item. So like this has the health. This has 5 health. The ship systems damage weight, I have no idea what that is. But you've got all sorts of stuff on here. You know, spaceship grav jump max power. This you can only set to 12. Like you can make it more than that, but it's gonna be weird. For the max power, that's how many pips you need in your grav drive to go. So right now it's set to 11, and that's fine. And I'm not gonna mess with anything in here. It's fine. This does not matter. If I go to the reactor, though, notice, again, we've got health, reactor health, the crew rating. This tells the ship how much crew or how many crew you can have. So, you know, set that to 8, because that'll tell it 8 people can be on your ship. And each piece has its own thing, so normally mine go over the normal limit, but it's fine. The max available power, I'm going to change that because I don't like that. We're going to make it 100, which is overkill, but I'd rather have enough power for all of my stuff and still have some left over. That's just how I like to do it. All of my ships are typically a little bit OP, and that's fine. Like, it's my stuff, it's how I like to do things, so if people don't like it, they can figure out how to do this on their own. Pretty simple and straightforward. Okay, so that should be it for the grav drive. Now we need to get our engines. So we're going to type in Amen. Let's try Amen done. Let's see what that does. And we're looking for X. try something else. Amen. Done. There we go. That's what I wanted. Is it? No, it's not. Let's try done. Underscore X. I hate this so much. We try just X100. X-100. Okay, so there's that one. Amen done X100 right there. Amen done X100. X100. Okay, cool. That worked. Sometimes you gotta play with the what you're looking at, and I'm getting, by the way, getting all this stuff from here. I'm just taking this and trying, like, I tried amen done first. That didn't work, so I tried amen underscore done. That didn't work, so I tried X-100. And that's the one that worked. So that's where I'm getting my stuff, because I have notes. Like I said, this is the stuff that I always use. So, yeah. Okay, so we want this one, so we're going to duplicate that. We want this one, the ship PI smod. So we're going to duplicate and rename. It's not going to show up, but it'll be X-101. Hang on, actually I might be able to... Yep, there it is. Copy. I don't know why the pack-ins do this. It's really annoying. But whatever. Okay. Yes, I want to rename that. Okay. Okay, so we got that. We need this one. Duplicate that. Duplicate that. Yeah. Okay. So now we have this, and we're gonna, again, Outrider. By the way, you want a keyword. I don't know if I said this or not. You want a keyword of some sort. For this mod, it's Outrider, because that's how I know this ship. Delete. Delete. Oh yeah, if there's any perks here, get rid of them, otherwise it'll mess your stuff up. No, and yes. Okay. So I'm gonna have to go and make sure that that's Outrider. Okay. Yes, I want to rename that. YT24-2 as the engine. Save that. No. Okay. Yes. Okay, so we should have this. So that's one. That one, that's 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we've got our 4 pieces that we need. And it's the same thing every time, by the way. It's always 4 pieces, with the exception of the... you need your snap points as well, but that's a little bit different. But yeah. That's all we need. So now we can type in Outrider, and it'll pop up. So So there's our engines. And we need to get our engines in there now. If it'll open. There we go. SMC engine. Oh, there it is. Outrider. Okay. I'll make sure there's not anything. Yeah, see, I missed this in the grav drive, so we're gonna delete that. My bad. I'm gonna check real quick. Make sure. Yep. See, delete. We don't want any of that. There shouldn't be. Okay, that's just a structural. There's nothing there. Okay, we're good. Okay, back to the engines. Let's see, engine. We want that. Okay. Modules. Okay. Save. Okay. And now we need this, I think, right? Yeah. I mean, I know we need that. Like, no duh. And we're just gonna delete everything. Wait, before we do that, I do want to show y'all something. See these things right here? These are your engine effects. These are actual movable objects. So we'll be using that later, but right now on the engines that I do, they never have effects because they're supposed to be hidden, and the effects, because they're their own piece, we can actually add them on to really any object that we want on our ship. It doesn't matter what it is. So that structural piece that we made, that is going to be getting these effects. It's not these in specific. I'm going to find a different one. But we're going to delete all that. And then we're going to plop this in. And where did it go? Oh, there it is. Going to edit. 0, 0, 0. Okay. That should be it for the engines. Let me make sure. Yep, that's good. There's nothing in any of these boxes. Engine, that's where we're at right now, so that's good. Make sure. Yeah, we're good. Let's see here. SMC. Yep. That's right. We got that renamed. Yep, that is correct. And here, here's the recharge rate. We're going to set this to 2 because I want this thing to have a crazy recharge rate because this is the sister ship to the Millennium Falcon. And I don't want to say in canon, I almost said that. In Legends continuity, Dash Rendar's ship was just a tad bit slower than the Millennium Falcon. Just a little bit. So we're going to set this to have 200 max forward speed. And we'll do 40 max backward speed. And don't mess with that too much, otherwise you'll get something that is like super crazy fast and it's not good. So, yeah. Okay, but that should be good. So we're going to save. Save the plugin again. And that should be it for the engines. Now we're going to get the shields. Shields are incredibly simple. So we're going to look up SG-100. Here we go. Shields, Sextant Assurance SG-1000. That's the one that we want. So again, duplicate. Duplicate and rename. This one's good because we don't gotta go try to find it. I just gotta remember it's 101. You know what? We're gonna change it. That's what we've been doing. Yeah, it's fine. I just want to rename it real quick. It's fine. And then duplicate that. Assurance. Duplicate that. Okay. So now, shields, Outrider, and delete. Okay. Outrider. Okay. Yes, I want to rename it. So we got 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Shields. Outrider. So we're doing YT 2442. Shield generator. Save. No. Outrider. Okay. Yes. Hang on. I don't want to accidentally click on something else. Outrider. On the shields. Okay. Maybe. There we go. Okay. This is a small piece, but it's not as small as... Wow, my bad. It's not as small as the equip nodes. See? So I still swap it out, even though that is a small piece. I'll still swap it out to this just because it's so much easier to mess with. Okay. So all that's left should be this. Edit. Okay. And then we're gonna click on everything, delete. Yes. We want our shield. Edit. And we're gonna do 0, 0, 0. Okay. We'll save. That should, if I'm not mistaken, be it for the shield. Oh wait, nope, 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 nope. That's right, I want to mess with this. I always do. Okay. Okay, so shield's health, depending, no, it's this, I'm sorry. Shield health, shield max health. This is the part I'm looking for, my bad. So this tells the game how many shields you have. Now this is a smaller ship, so we're probably gonna give it like, I don't know, 3,000. That's on the low end for ships that I normally do. Still a lot, like, but it's really not as much as people might think. Like, so for example, the Corvette, I think, has 20k shields, I think. That's a really big ship that should be able to completely obliterate the Outrider in terms of just sheer firepower. So, just, yeah. But yeah, this is another one of those things that you can modify, and you can set the shields like to crazy. You can put like 40k, which is astronomical. So, yeah. Okay, so the shields should now be done. Now we have the fuel tank, which I always use the 500T. There it is. Fuel tank ballistics 500T. I always use this one. Again, we're going to duplicate and rename, duplicate and duplicate. Okay, so fuel tank, and we want Outrider. See, delete that, delete, delete, okay. Fuel Outrider. Okay. Yes, I'll rename that. There we go. Now, we just gotta... Well, maybe. Come on. There we go. Oh, my bad. It's SMS, not SMC. Okay, there it is. Okay. Okay, save that. Then we're gonna edit the model. Again, we're using the exact same one that we've been using this entire time. The equip node, struct tile, equip node top. Okay. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and edit that. And we're gonna select everything. Delete. Yes. Oh, wrong thing. My bad. It's this one. There's our object. I was like, why did that not show up? 0, 0, 0. Okay. Just gonna make sure real quick that everything's good. This is good. I know this one is. Ah, okay, yeah. So, grab jump fuel. This is kind of important. So I normally set it to, I think, 1100. Just because that's just what I do. Again, that's overpowered. That's more than enough fuel. But it helps because now I only need one. I don't need 5 or 10 or anything like that. I just need the one fuel tank and we're good to go. And for this ship in specific, obviously I should be able to go pretty much wherever I want. That's kind of the whole point of this whole series of ships, is they're designed for ship cargo and whatnot. So yeah, should be good. So now we could go back to Outrider. Go. Before we get into the next two bits, I do want to show y'all something. Okay. So right now this just has spaceship part mass. This is the shell. See? Right now this just has a mass on it. What we can do, we can hit plus, and then I want to add in some cargo for this thing without actually having to add in the cargo pieces. So I can type in carry weight, and you've got all these different things. And what we want the carry weight shielded. And because of what this ship is, we're probably going to give it like, I don't know, 3,000. Because this would be used as a smuggling vessel, so it should, in theory, have a lot of cargo space. And that's actually what this ship's designed to do, just like the Falcon is. So, yeah, just wanted to do that before we get into the more complicated things, because right now everything we've done so far is really, really simple. But what we are about to do is complicated. It's not my favorite part. Let's put it that way. Let me see. How long have we been? We can go over a little bit. It'll be all right. I want to get this stuff done. Okay, so now we are going to get a docker. So docker underscore Stroud. No, we're not. We're not using Stroud. We're going to get, hang on. Docker Hope 11.4. I do want to see something real quick. I think it's, is it this one? Oh yeah, no, I don't want that. I don't want the 4 one. I want this? Is it the port? Yeah. Hang on, updating my notes real quick. So we're going to want the port, and the reason being, let's actually go back to the Outrider real quick, and I'll show y'all. That's the wrong thing. Wait, what on earth? Oh, delete. Yeah, we don't want any of that. My bad, I missed some stuff. Yes, okay. By the way, you get this arrow, oh come on, to show up if you hit E on your keyboard. So, yeah, I think I covered that already, but just so y'all know. So, the idea is to have the Docker, it's supposed to be about right here, at least the way that I'm designing it. This is where it's supposed to go. So if we go back to our hope, hang on, it's Docker hope underscore hope. So we have this one, the Hope 11 port and starboard. So if I use this, this is the one that's port. And see this little empty spot right here? Let me turn the music back on. Let's refresh. Do it again. See this little empty spot right here? That's where the doorway would be. Because this piece inside of all of this, inside of the actual inside of the files and what, or the pack-in rather, it's got a snap point right here. I'll show you all in a minute. It'll make a little bit more sense when we actually look at it. But I just wanted to make sure I could tell this is correct, because this is how this ship's going to show up, and so this is the port side of the ship. So we want a port Docker. So that means we want this set here. So we're going to duplicate that. And we want this. We're going to duplicate and rename that. We're actually not going to duplicate this for this. That's what I mean. This one's going to get a little bit complicated. We are going to duplicate this though. Okay. So now, what we're going to do what we've been doing. And we're going to Docker Outrider. Delete the keyword there, hit OK, create a form, no, yes. Go Docker Outrider. Okay. Yes. Docker Outrider. YT2442, right? Yeah. Oh, okay. Notice how often I'm saving as well. Creation Kit, I've had it in the past where it just crashes all of a sudden, and that's not any good. That's not fun at all. So, yeah, keep that keep that in mind. Okay, so now that we're looking at this, see, this is an SMS set because in-game, the port and starboard stuff, oftentimes you can flip them. We're not going to do that. We're not going to worry about that. That's too complicated. So instead, what we're going to do, if it'll load, wow, SMS Docker Outrider. We're only going to do the one. We're only doing one side. This is not going to, obviously it doesn't need one on the other side, so it's fine. Let me go ahead and type an Outrider again. Okay, there we go. So we got 1, 2, 3, and then we do not have this. So that's not in there, and that's fine. We don't have our S mod for the Docker because we're not going to need one. It'll make sense here in a sec. Okay, so we just did this, right? Yes, we did. So where's the Docker Outrider? Save. Now comes the fun part. We're going to edit this, and you see all this stuff? We want to delete literally everything except for this, this, and this whole thing back here. Okay, so we're gonna hit delete. Yeah, it's fine. We don't care. Okay, so these are the 3 pieces you need for a Docker to actually work in game. This has the camera, this tells the Docker how close it should be, and then this actually lets you snap it onto onto a hab or whatever, and it'll generate a door. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to find this piece. That's the ship docking marker. So we're going to look that up. Ship docking marker, and there it is. Here it is. Nice, lovely ship docking marker. And we're going to duplicate it. And we're going to name this Outrider _ ship docking marker. This is important. You do not want to replace the normal ship docking marker. This thing, you don't want to replace the in-game one or the base game one because it's attached to literally every single Docker. If you replace it, it'll replace every single one and it'll look messed up. Okay, so we want to make a copy. Hit OK, create new form, no. What we're going to do now is we're going to take our Outrider ship docking marker and we're going to put it right there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to edit this one, move that over there. We're going to edit this one, and we're going to copy the exact same values. Negative 5.3. Y is 0 and Z is 0.1. We probably won't keep that as a matter of fact. Okay, so that's not the one that I want. Let's go, let's put that to -6. No, let's do -7. Okay, what gives? -3. There we go. Okay. I wanted it further back so I could tell what's what. Okay. So that is now at -3. And then we got 180. And then -90 and 90. I don't know why that is like that. That's weird, but whatever. I'm not going to question it. And we are now going to hit OK. We're going to hit OK again. And we're going to save real quick, just in case. Now, this piece, you see this little white line right here that connects to this. That means these two things are linked. So whatever this, when this docks, it tells this door, oh yeah, this is where you're supposed to go. You're supposed to go into this other cell. So we need to do the same thing, but with this. Well, how do you do that? It's pretty simple. You click on Edit, and you go to linked. Okay, wrong. You click on this one, and you edit. There we go. And we've got our linked ref, right? You've got spaceship snap cap door link, and then the ship docking marker. Well, I can click on this, and then I can select the reference in the render window, and we're going to change it from the ship docking marker to the Outrider ship docking marker. There we go. And we're going to hit OK. There we go. And now, as you can see, this is now linked to our door. This is not. So we can delete this now. We don't want it. Now, what we're going to do, I'm going to hit E. I'm going to bring this thing closer. Not super close. But we're going to find this again, and we're actually going to change the model. And we're going to change it to that same thing that we've been using. The Taio Equip Node Top. There we go. Okay. Okay. And there we go. See, now it's changed to that. And this doesn't mess with anything. Make sure you do this first. Now we should be able to go to the back to the Outrider. And go back into the render window. And there it is, see? And it is still linked to this door. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this thing really close. Now it's weird, I know it looks weird, but in game it'll work. It'll be fine. But this is how I make my invisible dockers. This is it. So now we have an invisible docker. So when we go into the game, this will register, but we won't actually see. We'll see this piece, and this piece, but that's it. And so that's really easy to hide, and that's why I did what I did. Okay. Now, the last thing for our ship will be the landing bay. So what I'm going to do, I know which one I want. It should again... Ooh, wait, no. So this one's port, right? Docker... yeah. I'm going to name this port real quick. I'm going to add that to the name. No and yes, it's fine. What else do we have? We got that. We've got Docker underscore port. Okay. Oh, yes, it's fine. Docker port. Yes, I do. Okay. I just wanted to make that clear that this is the port Docker, just so I would know. And then I can drag this into that other packet and make sure that it works, but it'll be fine. It's gonna work. I know it'll work. Okay. So we only have one thing left, and that is the landing bay. For like all the items that we need, the only thing left after we do this will be the interior. Getting that set up and ready, and then getting the inside decorated with different items and all that kind of stuff. That's all that's going to be left once we're done with kind of getting just the base items set up. So that's good. As you can see, once you get going, you get proficient with Creation Kit. It's really not that bad, so do not be intimidated. Please don't. It's really not that bad, I promise. Okay. So, what we are going to do is we're going to look up bay underscore Stroud, because there is one in specific that we want, and that would be this one. Yeah, we want the starboard. So let me make a note of that real quick. Okay, so we've got this, and I'm also thinking like of the custom interior version as well as the shell version. All these pieces will work with either of them. Like, it'll be fine as long as I set things up correctly, then we'll be set up. But this is probably the last thing I'm going to do for this this video, because we are over time, but I want to get this done because this is the hard part. The rest of it's really not too terribly hard. It's just, this is difficult. So what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate that. And then we want the... Do we want the interior? I think we want the interior. No, we don't. We don't want the interior. What am I thinking? So, duplicate and rename. I think we want both, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah. Duplicate and rename. What is this? We don't want that. Duplicate. There we go. Okay, so again, we're not getting any of this other stuff. Well, actually, yes, we are. Are we? No, we're not. No, we're not. I take that back. We are not grabbing any of that. We do not want that. We don't need that. Apologies. This is the part that always confuses me a little bit, but it'll work once we're done. Okay, so we want Bay Outrider, and then we're gonna get rid of all this. So delete. Okay. Create new form. No. Yes. Bay Outrider. I think this is the exterior, right? Yeah, this is the exterior. Okay, so I'm putting an EXT at the end of it just to make sure. I sure want to rename this. Yes. Wait, no. We want that in there as well. Yes. Bay Outrider Starboard INT for interior. Okay. Yes. A Starboard. Save. No. Okay, so we should have this. We've got our starboard exterior and interior. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to look up our SMS set just like we've been doing the entire time. Come on, I don't know what's up with this thing, but like Bay Outrider. Okay. Yeah, see, so we need both for this. Smod Bay Outrider. That's the exterior. Bay Outrider interior. Okay, exterior, interior, we are good to go. Exterior goes on top, interior goes on the bottom. Oh yeah, right. So this is weird. So we need a spaceship lander rating, otherwise we have to have landing gear. So you can actually make your landing bay a landing gear and a landing bay. And that's this thing. So you just look up lander and then spaceship lander rating. hit OK. And then we're going to set this to like 200. That should be more than enough. And we're going to save. Okay. So now... Okay, let's look up Outrider. Okay, so we've got... There's the interior. Don't mess with this. I did want to just show y'all, like, the interior is just kind of blank. Don't mess with it. Don't touch nothing. Leave it alone. The exterior is the bit that you want to mess with, okay? And the reason why I'm... Hang on. So hit M to get rid of all that. The reason why I wanted this one is because... What on earth? Where is my... What gives? Where's my... What on earth? What is this hooked into? Oh, there it is. I was about to say, where's the plug? There it is. Huh. This was just covering it up. That's weird. Okay. I was about to be very upset. So the reason I wanted this is if we go to our shell, that's where I want people to enter in, is right here, because the door for this ship is actually right here. There's the door. So to do that, if we go back to our bay, you will see there's the door where you enter the landing bay. And then there's the door that lets you get into the ship. So this landing bay will work really, really well. So now what we want to do, before I do that, I'm going to be right back. Okay. Wanted to get some water, so I've got some water. Okay. Now this is pretty important. All we really want to do is we just want to delete everything except for what I call the activator and the plug. Okay? Because this works pretty much the same way that... This basically works the exact same way that the Docker works. It's the same principle. So to start with, well, let's get rid of that. We can delete this, and we can delete the ramp. Now for this, I know this thing, this is the activator. This door. This is what your character actually clicks on to enter into the ship. So we don't want to mess with that. At least not yet. We will in a minute. But I can click on everything else in here, and we can get rid of it. So we can go down here. Now that I've gotten rid of most things, we can go down here and we can look. I'm scrolling right now. I know it's hard to see. There we go. Okay. So we can get rid of all of this. Yes. And then we don't need that. We don't need any of these. These are all lights. We don't need any of that. We don't need any of these other physical lights. These are light effects, like that actually give off literal light, whereas this is just a static item that just glows. Yeah, we don't want any of this stuff, because we're making an invisible landing bay is what we're doing. Okay, there we go. So all that we want to delete. Yes. Yes to all. See this post effect volume? Don't mess with these too much. We don't want any of that to really be messed with. We also don't want to really mess with the prefab pack-in pivot dummies. But we do want these decal thingies. We want all that gone. Delete. Yes. That ship exterior push-out collider, I believe we want gone. Let me make sure. We can hit, maybe. Come on. There we go. We can hit M and our markers will show up. And these are the things we typically don't want to mess with. We don't want any of this to disappear. But this push-out collider, I do believe we want that gone. Yeah, pretty sure we don't need that. Yes. So we've got all of our post effect volumes. See, we got all this stuff. So we're gonna delete that. We'll delete that. We don't need that. That collision marker, we don't need. You don't want to mess with the offset marker. See all these land deck spawn things, this master spawn, and then all of these. Don't mess with any of that, because that's like for companions and for you. So there's that as well. We don't want to mess with that. What's this? Me. By the way, if like this is all black because there's no light in here anymore, you can hit that and that'll let you see what you're looking at. Really, I think all we want to do is get rid of all this stuff right here. So where's this? Where's all this stuff? Here we go. Yeah. Delete. Yes. So first off, see this little plug, SMod plug, Stroud Bayport? Do not mess with that. You see this? Ship get in per SM wall mid, that whole thing. Don't mess with that either. Okay? We can get rid of that though. That vent. Yeah, it's just, there's a lot of like little stuff that they put in. Okay, all that. Delete. Yes. See, we don't want any of that stuff. That's not helpful at all. Okay, and we got these space pouches. Okay, there we go. Delete. Yes. Now, all that is left is our door and our plug. Just like with the Docker, this plug connects to a piece of the ship, and then it generates a door. That's what that does. So what we want to do, we do not want to replace this, but we want to find it. So we're going to look that up. SHP gen int PERSM wall mid. That is not helpful. Hang on. Underscore EXSM landing bay door 01. Underscore load exterior. There we go. There's the one that we want. I just copied the name. I copied this into the search bar and it found it. So we want to duplicate that. And then what we want to do is just like we did with the Docker, we're going to rename this to Outrider and then hit OK, create a new form, no, a yes. Now we're going to grab this door and we're going to move it. It's just so that it's out of the way a little bit. And we're going to drop this in. Click edit. Maybe. Come on. And we're going to do 0, 0, 0. That is not what we wanted. It's okay. Good enough. Okay. So now, see how this is currently linked to this door? We don't want that. We want it linked to this one. So we're going to edit. Just right click and edit. And then we're going to go to linked ref. And then we're going to select our reference. That one. And then click OK. OK. And this is now linked to this. So we can now delete the original door. Wait. No. What are we looking at here? What's wrong? Yeah, it'll be fine. I've never had an issue. It'll be fine. Delete. Yes. Okay. So this is now linked to this. And what we are going to do... Oh, wait. We need a little... I forgot about this little detail. As far as... So let me save. And then we're going to get... A underscore Stroud. Okay, we're gonna duplicate this. I forgot. So we do need that. My bad. A Outrider Starboard. We're gonna edit the model. Edit. And we're gonna go and we're gonna get that same little equip node. Okay. I'm gonna hit OK. Create new form. No. Yes. And we're gonna get rid of the snap template on this because we don't want anything on this. And then we're gonna drag it in here. We're going to do edit, and we're doing 0, 0, 0. Nope, wrong way. 90. There we go. We're going to move it back, so it's like right there. We're also going to go ahead and we're going to modify this so that it's smaller. So we can go to scale and we're going to do just like 0.5. There. Click OK. I'm going to move it back to right there. And this is just so that we have something to grab onto. In the game. But now we're gonna save real quick, and we're gonna go back to the Outrider, our Outrider text, and then we want this. And we're going to edit this thing's model. And we're gonna do hang on. Okay, here we go. We're going to do markers. I always forget where this is. Is it editor markers? No, it's furniture, isn't it? Hang on. There it is. Okay, so yeah, markers, editor markers. So we want markers, Editor markers. Ah, I guess I just missed it. There we go. And that'll be invisible, but you can still interact with it. So we're going to hit OK. And I found that by just looking up invisible door, by the way, and then you follow this path, and you'll find it. We're going to hit OK. And then we're going to hit M so that we can see what it is that we're looking at here. And this door, we don't like this. I'm going to edit. Maybe, if it'll let me. Come on. There we go. And then we're going to rotate this by 90 degrees. Or not. Hang on. That might not be what we needed. There we go. That's what I wanted. We're going to rotate it 90 degrees so that it is in line with all of this. And then we're also going to bring this down some. And we are also going to scale it up to like 2. There we go. Okay. Save. And that should work. Our landing bay should now be ready and set up. Shouldn't have to mess with anything else. I don't think. Because everything should be linked correctly. So yeah, there we go. So now what we're going to do is we are going to take one last look. We're going to go into Starfield and we're just going to make sure that everything's there and that it's working. It should be. If I did everything right, we should find all of our new pieces and everything should work. I'm going to check and make sure that I can, like, you know, get inside the ship and do all the things that I should be able to do with it. Once it loads, after an eternity. Come on. Load. There is one more thing I'm going to show y'all after we do this and check and make sure everything is working and up to par. And that's just, it's a backup thing that I do. Because normally at this stage in my process, I do one more thing and then I'll that's it for that'll be it for this video, and then we can move on to the custom interior in the next video, which is good because I did want that to kind of be its own separate thing because it's not something that a lot of people know. So I wanted to show that specifically kind of by itself.
Anything I can help you with? Sure, how about it?
Okay. So we have our ship here, and then we've got all these different things that we're going to get rid of. And where's our... There it is. We're going to get rid of all that. And then we're going to go to our bays. We're going to check that first. Well, it's there. But, oops. I guess I forgot to rename it. It is there, though. See? This is why we check. Because sometimes, you know, I'm not always the smartest person in the world. What problem do we have? Is that too low? That might be too low. Oof. That's fine. Let's check everything else real quick. Let's see. So we should have a Docker. Yep, there it is. Okay. I am curious how that looks. If that works or not. Whatever. It'll be fine. Let's check the engines. That should be down here. Here we go. There it is. Our fuel tank. Oops, I forgot to do a thing with that. My bad. I gotta remember to do that, but it's there. Gear, grav drive. Reactor. Where's the reactor gonna go? Ugh, that's kind of a problem. It's okay. Huh. We'll use the thing that's not supposed to be there for now. And then the shields. Okay. Yeah. Everything is there. And that's good. It's definitely what we want. I can't put this on there, but it's there. It's supposed to be working. Oh yeah, that's definitely gotta be gone. Okay. Yeah, and this is below the landing bay, so I know what's going on there. Okay, so everything is there. Let's go back into the creation kit real quick. And we're gonna modify that just real quick. Because it's this. I know exactly what the problem is. So let's hit M, and then we're gonna hit E. And we're gonna drag these things up to like right there. Might need to drag them up a little bit more, actually. We'll do like that. Save. Okay. Now let's try it. Oh, I messed up again. It's fine. I'll fix it later. Off stream. It'll be fine. You know, I've shown y'all how to do that, so it'll be alright. Like I said, there's a lot of like little things you gotta make sure that you do. Otherwise, it doesn't work. And it turns into an issue. But yeah. I'm definitely gonna be modifying this thing as much as I can to try to get it to work. Okay, so we want to go in here. Hang on. Let's let this... Come on. Please load. Pretty please. There we go.
Got anything you need to offload? Trade authorities? Oh, okay, no problem.
There we go. Yeah, that's better. I do wonder, let me see if I can... Just get the Docker real quick. Engines... I'm gonna put that there, and it's probably not gonna work, but we're gonna see. Oh yeah, I can't. Cannot put that there. Okay, let's see. Ew, it sticks out. That's annoying. Here we go. That sticks out a little bit, but oh well. There's not a whole lot I can do about that. That's so annoying. I do believe it is a little bit too high, though. What flight check? What? Multiple landing bays? What are you talking about, multiple landing bays? Oh, I see. I'm just dumb. Okay, that ain't too bad. So that was the other landing bay that was being problematic. Okay, what gives? Where's my... What on earth? Where's the landing bay? Okay, that's really odd. I do not know what is going on, but that's not supposed to happen. Okay, well, it's kind of working. I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on there, because that's... yeah, that's weird. I mean, let me see, maybe... there we go. Let's try that. I don't know why it's not... the only thing I can think of is maybe it's not low enough. That's really weird, but... huh. Okay. Anyways, you might have to fiddle with this a little bit, and the same thing with these pieces. You're gonna have to fiddle with it a little bit to make it all work. You might also want to move all these spawn points down. I don't know if that really matters, but you know, you might want to move them down, and yeah.